here bringing a little video here. Sorry, just got a quick little email type message. Wanted to make sure it wasn't anything like an urgent type message or whatnot. But bringing in this little video here because they have me going on to a different project today. It's a little bit further away, so I'll be talking with you folks for a little bit, for a little while longer. I mean, why not, right? Got to do something with my time. I mean, as fun as it is to listen to music or drive in absolute silence, I need to do something a little bit more productive. Might as well try working on my YouTube and vlogging skills while I have all the time, basically. With that being said, this reminds me of got a little bit to talk about today. Well, first off, let's go with the professional. With the professional, workflows and things of that nature. Let's go with that first. And with this being a different project, here lately I've been asked to help out. Me and my team member have been asked to try helping out on different projects and stuff, which is absolutely fine. And if you're part of a company such as this, you got to be willing to, especially in my nature of work, which is water and wastewater treatment. You need to be able to help out your fellow friends, your fellow operators, to the best of your ability. We had to turn down some offers. Some people had to turn down some people simply because the time allotment just would not allow it for us to do it. Any other time we could, but just the time allotment would not allow us to do it, because we need to, first and foremost, we need to make sure our facility stays in a complete, in compliance within the boundaries of reason. And also, it's a lot. It is a lot to take in, especially with both of us freshly having kids of that nature. We just cannot be affording to spend that long away from home. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of weird to explain it like that. Now, I fully understand that some people travel long distances for work and they're gone for weeks and days at a time, things of that nature. We're not typically. So it's going to be that type of work, so that's going to be a little bit more difficult for us to accept, especially considering we still have to make sure our facility is in line at the same time. But that being said, you still have to be willing to help other people, help other projects. So that's the reason why yesterday I helped out just a few hours with a different project down, somewhere else. And then today I'm going to be helping pretty much all day at a different project in a complete opposite direction of my project. So it's all right though. It's what we do. I mean, we help each other out. You got to help each other out because this is a little bit too slow for me. So you got to help each other out. You got to be willing to actually go out there. Yes, it does seem like a pain in the butt sometimes because you're driving, like for instance this one, I'm driving all the way close to Atlanta. I hate driving close to Atlanta. I hate Atlanta to begin with. I just don't like Atlanta. Maybe it's the country boy in me, but it is what it is. I gotta go over there, gotta go help out. And I'm willing to do it because they've helped us out. The PM over there has helped me out several times at my facility. So I'm willing to do it because, hey, just need to do it from time to time. Now, with that being said, now moving on from the professional, let's go on with the personal. The personal thing I really want to talk about. And that is recently, I mentioned it before in one of my older previous videos, that we got a brand new Tahoe, 2021 Tahoe. It's a new brand new vehicle. And what that means for me is that I'm going to start driving my wife's Tacoma on a little bit more of a regular basis because I have a work vehicle. I have my own personal Tundra. We have the Tacoma, 2015 Tacoma, and now we also drive the Tahoe. So technically, we have 4 vehicles inside the 4 vehicles in our yard. That's a lot of vehicles for just 2 people. You know, our daughter is just turned 2. She ain't driving anytime soon. So why would we need 4 vehicles? We got 1 vehicle that's provided for by work when I'm driving. Then we got the 2 vehicles, the Tacoma and Tundra, that since my wife is driving the Tahoe on a regular, that means she won't be needing to drive the Tacoma regular, and I was only driving the Tundra on the weekends. So what's the point of trying to upkeep 2 different vehicles that you may drive during the weekends briefly? So I had to make the ultimate decision. I had to get rid of my Tundra. Now, the backstory behind this Tundra is that we got this Tundra with 17 miles on it back in 03. My father got this Tundra back in 03 with like 17 miles on it. It's almost at 250,000 miles. It's an 03 Tundra, so in the year is 2021 now. So it's almost a classic. It's been in my family for almost 20 years. And it was my first vehicle, my very first vehicle. And so I bonded with this vehicle. So I feel a very close connection with this vehicle because it's the vehicle I dated my wife in. It's a vehicle I basically grew up in because it's been with my family for almost 20 years. Okay, so of course I was a little reluctant to try even get rid of it, but I'm giving it back to my mother, so it's going to be staying within the family. But yesterday I was doing like a final type drive with it and stuff, and it's like, and man, it was I wouldn't say it was a little sad feeling, but man, it was like the high school type effect. Now that the vehicle is finally going to actually be going away on an official type, this dickhole needs to get off my ass. Fuck you. Anyways, now that this vehicle is like going to be officially, gone out of the family, if you will. Well, I meant gone out of my. See, that's fucking funny. This dickhole tried like speeding up, but this fucking semi said, "Fuck you, bitch, man." Anyways, sorry about that, guys. We are like, I wouldn't say it's like high traffic, but this asshole is like riding my ass so close in this piece of shit Hyundai that I'm talking about. He's like switching lanes. I see him back there. He's like throwing up his arms and everything. It's like, I can't go any faster than what I'm going now. I mean, I'm following the rules. Not only am I following the rules of the road, there's people in front of me. I'm not riding their ass. I'm not going to ride their ass. I'm staying proper distance. This guy, I swear, if I opened up my trunk right now, I would be able to touch his hood. God, I hate people like that. Don't you just hate fucking people like that? Like, I fully understand that you've got to get somewhere to be, and I fully understand that this is the interstate. Whatever. But damn, you're a fucking dick. Fucking asshole, I swear. Fuck, bitch. No wonder why the thing's got like, looks like its grill is almost broken off. Should ride its ass. Because it's now behind a Jeep. Anyways, let's get back to it. So, yes, I'm giving away my truck back to my mother. So it's going to stay in the family. But on the way, talking with my wife about it, I talked with my wife about it and said, and I asked her, it's like, do you feel as though if you could give a soul to an inanimate object? What I mean by that is, do you feel as though if you can give a soul to an inanimate object? do you feel as though if it gains a personality, it gains a pseudo form of sentient, if you will? Do you feel as though that is? Because apparently it was actually very common throughout history for things of that nature to happen. See, vehicles honestly have not been around that long in the grand scheme of humanity itself. Vehicles have not been around that long. Four-wheeled vehicles, I mean, there's obviously big cars, things of that nature, but when it comes to like mechanical type equipment, things of that nature, or, you know, transporting things that transport for long distances, do you feel as if it gets out? See, wagons and stuff like that were around a while, but guess what? They were pulled by horses, so those technically already have a personality and type of soul. Now, it was very common for ships. If you think about ships, it's very common for sailors, captains of the ship, to feel as though if the ship has an ambiguity. Of course, they give their ship's name, a name. And it seems like if you look out throughout history, even now, captains of ships would feel as though, if their ship they know the personality of the ship, they know what their ship can handle to a much greater spec than what bullshit specs would say. They call it her, they don't call it it. So do you feel, now when it comes to vehicles in particular, vehicles are not very old. They've only been around since less than 150 years. In the span of 150 years, vehicles have changed drastically from their base design to now. But do you feel as though, as a driver, do you feel as though if you give the more you drive it, the more you feel as though if your personality and those that rode with you leave into the vehicle, creating its own personality? Do you feel that happens? Now, I understand that to some people, vehicles are just vehicles. I fully understand it, because at the end of the day, they are just a vehicle. They are something that's going to break down, something that's not going to get you any value in the long run. You're never going to pay more than what you spend for them monetarily, things of that nature. Do you feel, now I understand that there's people like that, do you feel as though if you bond with a vehicle for long enough, you stick with a vehicle, 100,000 miles, 200,000 miles, 250,000 miles, do you feel as though if you give it a personality and that it has sort of like feelings, if you will? Because sometimes you're like, come on girl, good job, you know, when it actually starts, when you're having troubles with it. I don't know, it was just something I talked about with my wife because I was curious as to see what she thought about it, what was her notion, because her family's a car family. They have, her father has classic cars, her grandpa has classic cars. They have vehicles. They have several vehicles. More than what a normal person would have. So I was just curious as to what her general thoughts on it was, because in my mindset, she already was under the impression that it's just vehicles. You can have many of them, get rid of them, start trading on them, that sort of nature. But to my surprise, she said, yeah, I believe that vehicles are like a reflection of their owner in some way. And it shocked me, don't get me wrong, it definitely shocked me. But, so yeah, I mean, it's rather interesting to think about in that scheme, because it is an inanimate object. They haven't been around that long. So, what do you guys think? So, I mean, the vehicle that you're driving right now, do you feel as though if you bonded with it in a sort of way? And if not, have you bonded with the vehicle in that sort of way? It could be like your first vehicle. It could be that vehicle that you, for some odd reason, you drove your kid in to drop him off the first day of school. The vehicle that your kid first rode in from the hospital. Maybe you've had your kid in your vehicle. I don't really know. Vehicle you dated your spouse in. I don't know. If you've bonded with your vehicle, what made you feel a special bond with your vehicle? Because not everybody's going to feel that type of special bond with their vehicle because it's an inanimate object. But what made you feel as though you bonded with this vehicle, this inanimate object, technically this inanimate object, that you feel as though it has its own soul in it? Right? So, what are your guys' thoughts on that? I mean, I know this is a little weirdly convoluted and stuff, but I couldn't really describe this type of feeling into words, because when I was driving Sunshine yesterday, that's her name, Sunshine, long story behind that one. When I was driving her, I had like a sort of real nostalgia feel to it, you know, because I've been driving that vehicle since, I mean, it's been in my family since I was, since 03. Okay, it's been in my family since 03. And I've been driving it. It was my first vehicle since I turned 16. That's crazy, guys. I mean, that's literally crazy. And I'm 28 now. I'm about to turn 28 now. So I've been driving that vehicle for 12 years. That vehicle is older than my baby sister. My baby sister just turned 14. That vehicle is older than my baby sister. That's crazy. So, anyways, let me get back on track here. So, what do you guys think? I mean, give me your opinion. What is your vehicle that you bonded with? Well, why did you bond with it? If you haven't bonded with a vehicle, why haven't you bonded with a vehicle? What makes you not feel as though if it should be something to give a name to, or a personality to, a sort of personality to? I'm just curious as to the logical thinking behind it, because it is completely illogical to give an inanimate object a soul in hindsight of things, because it's not because it does not even follow the classifications of life, if you will, by scientific standards. So why do you feel personally it's just something that's just there? I'm curious about it. I'm just curious about it to see how other people think, things of that nature. So if you guys would, give me a like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I want you guys to work hard and do your dirty business. As always, peace.